Good evening, Facebook. It's Michelle Clark again. Thank you for joining me. Thank you to all of those who have supported my last few lives for Baby Loss Awareness Week. Today, are you smiling, Shiloh? Today, we're back for day 4. Shiloh seems to love these lives. And as you can see, just like last night, I have another special guest. Special guest, would you like to reveal yourself?
Yes. My name is Malika and I'm 10 years old and I'm the eldest sister of Destiny.
That's correct. Okay, so what's going to happen is a bit like what I did last night with my husband. And if you haven't watched it, remember they're all on my page, so you can go back and check them all out. They're not going anywhere, and I will be downloading them and putting them on my YouTube also. So, Malika, like most children her age, has a bedtime, which is coming very soon. So I'm only going to ask her a couple of questions and then she has to go and get ready for bed. So, Malika. First question. How did you feel about losing your sister Destiny?
I was sad and I was also very disappointed because at that time I was only 6.
Yeah.
But I've already had a little brother, and the fact that I was gonna have like a little sister, I was really happy about that. And then when Mommy and Daddy told me that Destiny had died, like I basically understood that she wasn't gonna be like here with us, so I was sad about that. But I didn't really understand much.
Yeah, because you were 6.
Yeah.
And she's explained that beautifully. Even though she took it really, really well, obviously, from her point of view, you can understand her disappointment. And this is exactly what I mentioned last night. She already had her brother Jackson, her older brother Jackson, as in the oldest of the sons, sorry. Yes, younger than you, but the older. Because I don't want people thinking, oh, is this one Jackson or this one's Shiloh? And she wanted a little sister. She just thought, I've got my brother, gonna have a sister. This is gonna be great. And as I said, I can't do it right now because hubby's using the laptop this evening, but I will at some point show you the video where she finds out that we are having Destiny, because she was so ecstatic in that video. Hi Natasha, thanks for joining. So anything else you want to add? Malika, do you want to let everyone know who's sitting on your lap?
This is Destiny doll. I've had her for about 3 years. When we were like in the Manchester Centre in Wolverhampton one time, we saw this like stool of like dolls, and I brought one and I named it after Destiny, and I just keep it to like remind me of her, and like even like today, like when I go to bed, I like sleep with her and that.
She's been used a lot. If I just show them, she's really tatty and everything now. You know, Malika's made good use of her, but she's such a sweet little doll. And Malika, even now, as she said, sometimes still sleeps with her Destiny doll, and she's just a comfort to her when she's missing her sister. In the beginning, she used that Destiny doll quite a lot, and especially when she was really upset, as you can understand. She would have her at night with her, and sometimes during the day as well, wouldn't you? And before we move on to the next question, can we briefly just touch on the Edwards Trust? Do you remember who Edwards Trust were?
Oh yeah, it was the counsellor went to.
You went to counselling, yeah?
Every Friday after school.
No, you got took out of school, do you remember?
Oh yeah.
The school was so amazing. I was able to come and get her about 12 o'clock, I think it was. And we'd get on the train or the tram to Birmingham. Do you remember now?
And I'd eat my lunch on the
That's
train.
right, she'd eat her lunch. That's right, yeah. And she had her counselling at Edwards Trust, and I was in one room having my counselling, and Malika was in another. And it was very important that they speak to the child on their own, because obviously some children may feel influenced by their parents or may feel like they have to say a certain thing. And if you've ever been in counselling, counselling only works if you are being brutally honest. So it's very important that Malika was away from me, and she wasn't saying what she think I wanted her to say. She was saying what it was she wanted to say, what was actually in here. and they were absolutely amazing. What was the room like that you were in?
It was like really colourful. It had like dogs and everything. Like at first I was like really like nervous. Like
Yeah.
I really would like speak much and that. Like after I went there, like I think I'd only been there about like 4 times.
Yeah.
Then after like when I've been there a few times, I started to get like more
Attached.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually
Can I tell them the story, how attached you were? She was very, very, very shy when she first started going there. And obviously, understandably, after everything that happened, she was kind of reverting back into her shell. But she had such a lovely counsellor, and my counsellor was lovely as well. And our counsellors had the same name. Yeah, they had the same name. And I went to go and check out Malika's room. I spoke with her counsellor so I could actually see her surroundings. It was amazing. Honestly, the counselling for the children, the room just brings them out their shell, the toys, everything. And they do a lot of role play, so they'll probably get like the toys to ask the children some questions, you remember? And they play games a lot. I'd come to collect because I used to sit downstairs in the waiting area, and I'd be like, oh, so what happened today? And her counsellor would say, we played games, but the games are more than just games. It's helping the child to speak and get their feelings out. It was absolutely amazing. But what I was going to move on to was Malika was so attached and loved it there so much once she started to come out of her shell. She didn't want to stop going, and she thought it's something that she could go to all the time. Remember, she was only 6. So what happened was I think it was 2 sessions because they were saying that they felt that I was dealing with the loss quite well, and they to keep me on the books, because if you think about it, I already mentioned last night, the grieving process takes such a long time, and there's a lot of people on the waiting list waiting to grieve and waiting to, not even to grieve, to be heard and to, you know, be seen to. And they can't see everyone. Hi Olivia, thanks for watching. They can't see everybody at once, and everyone has to wait their turn, obviously. So what they said to me was, because you seem to be coping so well, we're going to take you off the list so we can see somebody who's not coping so well, which makes perfect sense. And if you ever need us again, we're here. Thankfully for me, I didn't need them again, but I just thought that was absolutely amazing. And with Malika, I can't remember exactly, but I think you had 4 sessions, but she wanted to keep going. So one day, her counsellor brought her downstairs and she was like, Mom, I've got no worries, I've got no, you know, I just don't think she needs to see me anymore, I don't think she needs to be here anymore. And Malika was like, Mom, you know, she was so upset, I remember her little face, and yeah, she was upset, I can see it now, she was so, you was crying, wasn't you? And I said to Sue, don't worry, I will, her name was Sue, wasn't it? I think it was Sue. I said, I will talk to her when we get home and I'll explain. I don't think she really gets it right now, but I had to let her know it was a good thing. I said, the fact that you don't need to be seen anymore, the fact that they think that you don't need to be seen anymore, shows you that you're getting stronger and that you don't really need to come here anymore. And after a while she got it. But again, being a child, it wasn't just about the grieving. Remember, she's still a child. You see a room full of toys and colourful walls, and who wouldn't want to keep going week after week, you know? But in the end, she got her head around it and she realised that, yeah, that means that I'm doing good. I don't have to be there. They now need to give their time and attention to other children that need them more. So you got it in the end, didn't you?
Yeah.
The only one concern she did have, do you remember she mentioned about your Destiny doll? Because she didn't want you to be too attached. And I was saying, no, honestly, she's not that attached to it. Sometimes she flings it across the room, she forgets about it. Just like any other child with any other toy. One minute they love it, the next minute you find it on the floor. I said, no, she's not that attached. It's healthy. Because if we thought that it wasn't a healthy relationship, obviously, myself and her dad would be straight in there to, you know, separate. But no, she was fine with that. Once I explained to her, she was happy. And she said, yeah, I can discharge you. We don't need to see you anymore. And that was that, wasn't it?
Yeah. Didn't
have to go back. So, another question for you. You ready?
Yeah.
I want you to look into the camera. This is the last question. And remember, this happens a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We've always looked at the statistics and how common child loss is, but it doesn't seem that common because it's not spoken about a lot. And this is why Mummy and Daddy choose to help others and speak about it. So the question I'm going to ask you, Malika, is, what advice would you give to any other siblings that have gone through the same thing as you? So if they're watching this now, or maybe if they watch it on the replay with their parents and they're thinking, that's happened in our case, they could be younger, they could be older, doesn't really matter, they've gone through the same thing as you, they've got a little brother or sister that's in heaven now, they're no longer here. Have you got any advice for them? Doesn't matter how long or how short, what would you say to them? Yeah. Think. So let's just say maybe it's quite fresh with their family. Maybe their loss has just happened. Any advice on how to cope? What type of things helped you? Maybe that's...
Well, one of the things that helped me was like speaking out about it.
Definitely.
Like talking to parents or like having counselling like I did.
So that would be your advice to them. Speak to their parents. Counselling helps, but obviously that would have to be their parents that could book that for them.
Yeah.
Anything else? What about, do you remember that night when I showed you her photos? Because you hadn't seen her photos, had you?
No.
And the reason for that, I'll quickly explain before she goes to bed. The reason for that is, what you need to remember is Malaika was only 6 when we lost her sister. And for a 6-year-old to see a baby that's no longer living, we thought that was quite shocking. It could have been quite horrific for her. Remember, in the beginning, it was horrific for myself, and I'm a grown woman. So myself and her dad, we made that judgment call that we just thought she wouldn't be able to handle it. Although some of the bereavement midwives were saying, oh, look, children can handle this type of thing, you know, children are resilient, it's you that's thinking, but she'll be fine. We appreciated that, but as her parents, we know our child better. And Malaika, not so much now, but back then, had a very vivid imagination. There were certain things that if she saw, you know, she wouldn't want to, you know, go to bed if she was freaked out or whatever. So the last thing we wanted to do, so we decided that we didn't think it was the right time for her to see her sister. We had a book, we had the pictures on the memory stick, and we knew that even though we weren't going to show her in person, in time, she'd be able to have a look at the photos. So the one night you were really upset, weren't you? And I remember saying to her dad, where's the photo book? And he was just like, I thought we said we wasn't going to show her just yet. I said, honestly, she's crying her heart out upstairs. I just think she needs to put the face to the name now. She knows Destiny, she knows it's her sister, but who is she? What did she look like, you know, which I completely understood. So her dad agreed and I got the book. And what was you like once you saw her photos?
Calm.
Calmed her down almost instantly. You were quite intrigued, weren't you?
Yeah.
Were you quite horrified by the way that she looked?
No. It was
Yeah.
horrified or scared or anything.
Okay. Because you understood that because of, you know, when everything happened, she was...
Yeah.
And she wasn't...
She was tiny.
That's right, she wasn't a full-term baby. So you understood that, you know, baby. Very bright one, this child, very bright. So yeah, so once we showed her the pictures, it was like an instant calming. It's like she just needed to see her sister, and I sensed that. So that's why I thought now's the time. You know when is the right time. It might be the case with your children where the right time is at that time at the hospital. They might be able to deal with that. They might be able to hold their siblings. But we knew with Malaika that wouldn't have been advisable because she was only 6. And, you know, your 6-year-old might be able to handle it. But as I said, you know your own child. And we made that judgment call for her. And we just feel that we did the right thing. So we've always got the pictures. We've always got those memories. So is there anything else, Malaika, you'd like to say? Can be about anything.
I do remember Like with Destiny Doll, well, I do like I use her like a lot. Like say when I'm like when I go to bed, like I'm scared or something. Like I have her with me, and I just feel like calm, like I feel safe in that. And even when we went to Blackpool, like I took Destiny Doll like with me.
I forgot that actually. You did, yeah.
Like
So Destiny Doll's been to Blackpool.
Yeah.
She came with us.
Put it that way, it's funny.
I forgot about that. I really did. I really did. So there we have it. Only a short one with this evening. Because Malika has got to school in the morning. She's 10 years old, so we need to make sure that she gets ready for bed and she has a good night's sleep. But Malika did this last year as well, didn't you? So our video from do you remember last year? My video from last year is on my YouTube. That one was a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But we didn't have 4 children in the house then, did we?
I don't
It's a lot more hectic now.
What about
2 of you and Jackson. Yeah. So what we're going to do now, we're going to leave it there. Actually, we had 3. Praise was very young there. Do you remember? She was very young.
Yeah.
Any questions, if you are a parent watching this and you've experienced exactly the same thing that we've experienced, you know, we know how horrific it is. If your son has got any questions for Malika, you could always post for them below, or you could inbox me and I can message you back Malika's response. Social media for quite some time yet because she's 10, but I don't mind doing it that way. Or if you want them to speak to us face to face, so your little girl or boy, we could always do like a call or a video call over Facebook. We don't mind. At the end of the day, anything that will help, because we do understand that this can be just the worst thing for some children, where it's just so hard for them to bounce back from. In our case, we were so thankful that Malika was so resilient. Of course she was low, she had her down days, but she dealt with it really well, and we understand that that might not be the case with all children. Maybe especially children that are kind of younger, maybe like 3, 4, that know they're getting a little brother or sister, and then it's like, where are they? They don't really have the connection to understand one the baby in their belly, next minute there's no baby. So if you'd like to speak, we can definitely set something up.
I was also gonna say, like, when we went to a funeral, when we were saying that, like, I was actually thinking that when I get back home, I'm just gonna run upstairs to my bedroom and lie on my bedroom.
Yeah, and she wrote her own poem for her. And Malika was very shy at those times. She's shy now, but back then she was really shy. And she stood up and she said this poem out. We were just like, wow, and everyone was saying how lovely it was, wasn't they? And how they were proud of her for standing there and doing that. And she mentioned in her poem that her brother, he was 1 at the time, all about his sister. And now you've got more siblings to tell, haven't you? Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining us this evening for day 4. I'll see you again tomorrow for day 5. We're going to leave it there because, as I said, someone's got school in the morning. So take care and we'll see you soon. Don't forget to share because this could help somebody else, okay? Take care. Bye-bye.
Destiny Doll says bye.
Bye.